What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here, and you've made it. You have made it to the live pregame, State of the Union pregame, and this address will be, I'm sure, one of the greats of all time. Good to see you guys out there. I'm going to put the comments in the screen here so we all can see them together, hopefully. And I see that I have a few people watching. I'm going to get started. And I know the music's still going. It's going to get softer. It's going to get softer. Here we go. Look at here, people. The State of the Union addresses tonight. And we will not be covering it live because, it's obvious. Now, we're going to give you everything you need to know before you listen to the vomiting of the mouth, the lies, and the misinterpretation of law. Before you hear this person try to gaslight you into believing that the economy is fine unless it's not. And if it isn't, then it's Biden's fault. But if it is, then it's his. I'm going to make sure that you can decipher what it is. So what I tell you today, everything that you need to know, everything, we're going to get into all of the things. And it's really simple. Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. Everything you need to know. There it is. Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. Donald Trump is a world-class liar. He is a self-aggrandizing fool. Donald Trump is a con man of the highest order. A 6-time bankrupt con man who has made more money in the office of the presidency than he's made in his 40 years to 80 years outside of the presidency. Donald Trump has made himself the richest president in the history of presidents. Donald Trump went from bankruptcy, went from a failing TV show at its end to a multi-billionaire by laundering fake meme coins and selling them to his base, and golden shoes, by taking money from outside of the US, from foreign entities, selling off piece of this country piece by piece. You're not going to hear about that tonight, but you need to know that going in. Everything you need to know about how to digest what you hear tonight is Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. All right? That's it. I'm not sure if you were hoping for some sort of, you know what I have for you? More importantly than what anything Donald Trump says tonight, more importantly than anything Donald Trump says tonight, is you need to have one of these. And I'm gonna show it to you real quick. You need to have, and this is important, guys. This is an important checklist to ensure that you know what's going on. Let me just make sure. Let me just go ahead and take a picture of it. I'm going to put it up here so that everybody can have one of these. And this is a checklist. Number one, everything you need to know, Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. Number two, Donald Trump is a self-aggrandizing con artist, a fool of the highest order, who has stolen from his own base, has gotten rich through lies manipulation, and gaslighting. Donald Trump will blame everything bad on Biden and everything that is good on himself. Donald Trump will misrepresent what is good and what is bad. Therefore, he is not a reliable source of information. If you know that going in, he's a liar and a con man. If you know that going in, you are prepared. If you are prepared for tonight's event, we're not covering it live because there's no need to cover an unreliable source of information spewing lies and stealing from his base. He sold off the country to foreign entities and is doing so as we speak. Now, what I will do is show you the most important thing you need to know. The most important thing you need for tonight is this. Everybody take a screenshot. Hopefully you can see everything. This is, maybe I'll make it bigger. I guess, I don't know. This is the bingo card for tonight. This is the bingo card for tonight. What you need to know is all in here. Let's see. And we're going to play a game. You know, you guys do it amongst yourselves. If you have one of the DEI, Democrats, stock market, Biden, voter ID, you guys take this, take a screenshot, print it. Choose a card, get a whole lot of drinks, and ensure that you're having fun. This is how you watch tonight's State of the Union. If you watch tonight's State of the Union hoping to gain information and to become a well-informed citizen, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And I just got word from Eljo that she sent a different. Let's take a look. So here's 4 bingo cards. If you're playing, this is the bingo that we'll be playing tonight in the writer's room. And I believe that I've been sent another bingo card. State of the Union bingo card. I'm going to go ahead and forward that to myself. And then I'll put that up here. Take the screenshot. Take the screenshot, guys. And what I'll do, maybe I'll put it somewhere for downloadable. I'll add that to the comment section when this is done. If you're watching the State of the Union to try to get information, you're doing it the wrong way. Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. That's everything that you need to know. I have another bingo card I'm going to send to myself. Now, while I'm sending this to myself, I'm going to go ahead and save that. Thank you, Eljo, for that. I do have some addendums. There is an addendum to the most important piece of information, which is not the last time, I'll say it again, but for now, Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. Donald Trump is a felon, a liar. Donald Trump is a self-aggrandizing con man of the highest order, a 6-time bankrupt fool who has made himself richer while being in the office of public service than he was before he got into the office of public service. This is all you need to know. So get your bingo card ready. But as an addendum, I'm going to show that bingo card again. Matter of fact, maybe I'll just leave it over here. Go ahead and take that if you can see it. Maybe I'll put it somewhere you can download. As an addendum, if you need to know about what Donald Trump's, the real State of the Union, the actual State of the Union, if you're wondering what's happening with, say, tariffs, allow me to show you what you need to know about tariffs. Let's take a look. This is everything you need to know about tariffs before Donald Trump speaks tonight.
He's stolen $1 trillion from it, and we want it back.
That's everything you need to know about tariffs for tonight. I'm giving you the facts, and I'm coming with receipts. If you guys are looking for, an in-depth coverage of what you're going to see tonight, go to CNN. They're willing to lie to you for the next fucking 6 hours about all the things you need to know. There's only one thing you need to know. Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. And when he talks about tariffs, the only thing you need to know is he's stolen trillions from us and we want it back. I'll give you just a little bit more so that you don't say that that drill sergeant wasn't thorough in his information and giving you everything you need to know.
Let's just say Donald Trump is the greatest thief in American history.
There we go. I've given you everything you need to know, YouTube, about the tariffs tonight. What he tells you about tariffs tonight, if it doesn't include that, it's wrong. It's a lie. Considering he's not a reliable source of information, he's not going to tell you that. And whatever you're watching on CNN right now, and the debates they're having about whether or not he can steal state-run elections, as if that's something you can debate, which further gives him validity in his madness. I will not give that validity here. He's a madman, a con artist, a liar, and a thief. He's going to talk about tariffs. I'll be thorough. There's more.
Let's just round it up and say, Trump, you're going to give all of it back. Because to quote the great George C. Scott in the Paul Newman, Jackie Gleason pool movie, The Hustler, you owe me money.
I don't know how it could be any clearer. I've been thorough here. Everything you need to know about tariffs is right there. Because he is not a reliable source of information, he will not tell you that. And because CNN needs you to watch them for ratings, because I probably get more ratings than they do at this point. And ABC is simply run by a Jewish Nazi, which I never thought I could hear the words. This is everything you need to know. And just to be thorough, we're going to go past the 5-minute mark. This is what, in case you think I'm lying, here's the historical record of what he's done so far with tariffs that he won't tell you.
Men, that while it had already made us the hottest in something, it would really only start to impact actual Americans later. That later used to be after he had been in office for a year, which was a month ago. Then it became the second quarter of 26, which starts April 1. Then it was the third quarter. Now, quote, you'll start to see the results in a year from now. Anyway, that was Friday night. Then Saturday, somebody explained to him that the new 10% tariff was not, in fact, authorized by the Supreme Court or anybody else, but there was a 15% tariff permissible on a limited basis for 150 days and 150 days only under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. So Saturday, he changed Friday's tariff, which was changed from Thursday's tariff to Saturday's tariff, and from 10% to 15%. Problem with that, of course, as was widely noted by my old friend Neil Katyal and others on Sunday, is that when Trump's lawyers went to the Supreme Court to defend the tariffs by fiat that they struck down on Friday, they defended those tariffs by writing, quote, nor does 122 have any obvious application here, where the concerns the president identified in declaring an emergency arise from trade deficits, which are conceptually distinct from balance of payments deficits. So if anybody wants to go to court to challenge Saturday's tariffs as opposed to Friday's tariffs or the Thursday tariffs the court struck down, all they really have to do is face Trump's lawyers and, quote, Trump's lawyers.
I think that's enough. Have I made myself clear? Thank you. Thank you, guest speaker Keith Olbermann, for describing what we need to know about tonight's tariff talk. when he speaks about tariffs, when when the marmalade colored tornado, when the tangerine tornado speaks about tariffs, remind yourself that it's only about 24 hours until it changes again. There's no plan. He has no idea what he's doing. He's stolen trillions and we want it back. That's everything you need to know about tariffs. Now, I am telling you, even if you don't know the minutia of tariffs, I'm glad I could help you. Even if you don't understand the minutia of what's going on inside every plan that he's going to talk about tonight, the overall takeaway is Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. He's a liar. He is a felon. He is a SAer. Donald, okay, I'll tell you what. He's a con man. He's not reliable. Anybody telling you otherwise, talking about tariffs, anybody telling you about the plans to take over elections as if it was somehow a possibility as they are run by the state, as dictated by the Constitution, is giving him more validity by even having the debate. So we're not having it here. It's also why we're not showing it live. What I'm doing instead is telling you everything you need to know before you watch it. And one of those things is get a bingo card out, because you're not watching it for information, you're watching it for the spectacle, for fun. Play the game, get a lot of drinks. Print this out if you can, take a screenshot. I have another one coming from Eljo. I'm in the middle of talking, so I haven't been able to email it to myself yet. If you're watching it, play the game. That's what we're gonna do. I'm not sure what the prize is. Give yourself a good prize. I don't know, extra drinks or something. Maybe we'll do something for fun. It won't be live though. So maybe you guys are asking, well, you know what? Tariffs aren't the only thing he's going to talk about. We want to know the minutia of our social contract in America, the minutia of what has been promised and what has been received. And I'm with you. I think that is a reasonable question. I agree. And you came here thinking to yourself, you know what? Drill Sergeant going to tell me everything I need to know. And God damn it, if I don't do that, it's my fault. I promised that, and I gave you the overall, but sure, there is a little bit more. You want to understand what's happening socially, the glue of the country. Here's what's happening socially. Allow me.
I have to invite the women as well.
What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
We have to invite the women's team. Ha 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 ha! Women's team? Who the fuck cares about that shit? Tee hee! Ha ha! That's where we are socially. This is to be expected. because we voted in a sexual assaulter, an adjudicated sexual assaulter who has treated women like dirt and property for 80 years, who's in the Epstein files. Everything you want to know, everything you need to know about what to take away from tonight's State of the Union address has been presented to you. The sexual assaulter, the criminal, the adjudicated rapist, the financial criminal, the con man, the bankrupt, 6 times con man, who has stolen from this country, sold it off piece by piece to foreign entities, who bans Muslims from coming into the country while getting billions from them, and puts their air bases on our land. Qatar, when he speaks, if you act like anything he says isn't a con, you're failing at this. You're failing. Everything you need to know, everything you need to know about what to take away from tonight's show, State of the Union address, is right here. I'll give you some more context.
Okay.
And by the way, that men's team, as they laugh at the women counterpart who won gold medals, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that this is the men's team. You guys can all eat a dick. Fuck you. All of you. Take those gold medals and shove it up your ass. Melt it down and give it to your dear leader. He would respect it more. Melt it down, put it into a bar, and give it to your dear leader. He would respect it more. You're a skid mark on the underwear of this country. You're a failure. No matter how much gold you win at life, at being decent, you've lost. You've lost. Last place. Thank God for the women's team. Or the only thing we'd have to show for ourselves is the likes of you. And I'd rather be buried.
Anyway, if you could work that out.
And again, the absolute disrespect, the fact that they made this call public is absolutely crazy to me. It just shows you how blatant the disrespect is and how much they don't even care. So he calls the men's hockey team, never called the women. The women won on February 19th. The men won on yesterday, February 22nd. The women never got a call. I think there was maybe a post that was put out. The men get a FaceTime from him. And during that FaceTime, not only does he basically prove that he didn't care about the women's hockey team, he didn't care to watch their game or anything like that, he also just decided to make it a moment where he wanted to make fun of women's sports as well by saying, yeah, I'm going to have to invite the women or else they'll impeach me if I do that, because really, who cares about the women, right? And that is exactly the type of rant that meathead MMA fighter Sean Strickland went on the other day when he decided to say that no one cares about women's MMA, no one cares about the WNBA. Women need to be in the kitchen cooking, and we've given them way too much power, way too much autonomy, and they're ruining the world. This is the blatant disrespect that happens from...
No. Everything you need to know about tonight, everything you need to know is that Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information, number one. Donald Trump is a con man and a liar of the highest order. Donald Trump has grifted and stolen from everybody who voted for him. He sold them golden fucking shoes. He's given them fake green cards. Even Nicki Minaj got herself a golden grocery store card that she thought gave her citizenship. He has lowered the value of our country, not monetarily, that too, not the dollar, that too, the value of our country as a social entity. People who do this and who elect sexual assaulters into high office and grifters and thieves into high office, are the value of our country has been lessened. And CNN, MSNBC, all of them are going to act like that what's happening tonight is of some import. It is not. If you watch it, do so by using one of the things that we have here for you. What we're doing is giving you everything you need. I've given you the first set of bingo cards for tonight, so you can have some fun with it. Because that's the only thing you're doing tonight is having fun. You're not gating new information. You're not picking up on nuances of the federal system that we have. You're not understanding where we are financially. What you are doing tonight, if you're watching it, is having a good drink, a good laugh. Okay? A bit of fun, and play some bingo. What you're doing is you're playing some bingo tonight. Here's what we got for you. Oh, I wish it was bigger. Eljo. Even mine was small, but not this small. We got this one. Go ahead, take a screenshot. Tell us what's up. I don't know about Robbie tonight. I don't know what time that is. I'll try to put it out in posts, because this is the live for today. It wasn't supposed to be this long. It was supposed to be very funny with me saying there's nothing you can learn from somebody who's not a reliable source. But then I ended up doing all of this just to give context, because no one will ever say that Drill Sergeant didn't come in here with context and history, with relevant context. Here's the other one. If you're watching tonight, everything you need to know is on these bingo cards. Go ahead and take a screenshot, print them out if you have such the capability. If not, look at them, enlarge them, have fun tonight. But the absolute God's honest truth is everything you need to know. And I'm going to give it to you right here. Donald Trump is not a reliable source of information. He's a liar, a thief, and a con man. Everything you need to know about tariffs has been given to us by our guest host, Keith Olbermann, who told you he's stolen millions and trillions, and we want our money back. And his story on tariffs has changed as often as he changes his diaper. Every time he changes his diaper, the tariff story will change. So if you think you're going to get anything that's worthwhile on this subject, you and the rest of the world will be waiting. If you're looking for where we are socially, the unity of the country, as it is the United States of America, everything you need to know is how he treats the men's hockey team versus the women's hockey team. That's the unity. One gets laughed at and discouraged even though they won a gold medal, and the other joins in the laughter at them because they have all become sycophants to a fucking Nazi. That's what has happened. That's where we are. That's the state of the union, and that's everything you need to know. I'm happy I was here to help. Everything you need to know was in those clips and in what I've told you. There's no more than that. I see we've got some new people. If you have any questions, I'll answer them for you. But that's just about it. That's actually it. That's everything you need to know. Any questions? Pretty much hit the nail on the head. Now you can go watch MSNBC and CNN as they act like okay, yeah, the head of the FBI and pounding beers in the locker room. I think that the first video covers that too. I don't have to watch him actually drink beer, but you're 100% right. Everything you need to know is in these clips. Have a good one. Be more informed. Spread the word. Get those bingo cards printed out if you can. Email them to yourself. Get that good screenshot. Blow it up. Hopefully you can read the words. Have fun tonight. Whatever you do, do not take this man seriously. And whatever he says on economic plans, on tariffs, on voting, that will change as many times as he changes his diaper. So at least 3 times a day? Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Stay informed.